it's Dave Landau, and you're watching Andy Smith, the coolest comic book creator around. Just ask his mom. I have. All hail Comicsgate. Bam! Bam! Bam!
Shut up and sit down.
Well, hello everybody. Happy Monday. That's right, it's Monday afternoon, and I hope you guys are having a good day. I laid out page, what is that, 50, I'm trying to look over on my desk, page 52. I laid out page 52 today. It's a scene change. Spoiler alert, Adriana and Kor-Drath are riding their horsey somewhere. Where? Go back Kor-Drath and find out. Let's say hi to some people. 40% Zed. Hello. Marcus. Hello. Saw Marcus over the weekend at the little Charlotte Comic-Con. Hyper Kaiju. What is up? They want to see the loot. JP Roca. What is good? And of course, there you go. Marcus says it was a lot of fun with you and Bud Root. Hey. Shh. That fun between the three of us stays on the down low. Come on now. I am going to be showing off some loot, some comics I picked up from the con, and I'm going to be doing it with a friend of the show. You might call him Lopez. We just call him Alo.
That's right. Our Aaron's second chance Lopresti. I have many names. Thanks for having me, Andy.
You do. Is it chilly out there, or are you just trying to pimp your hat?
Dude, we might get snow this week. So yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's been cold and rainy.
Oh my God, it is 71 here, and I got my ceiling fans on.
Yeah, okay. All right, don't rub it in.
I was outside yesterday. We still have the pool cover on the pool, but it collects leaves and water. So I was out there yesterday skimming the top of the pool to get the pool cover to get as much leaves off as I could.
And then there was an alligator in there, right?
No, thank God there was no alligator.
Okay. All right.
Oh, look at that. JP Roca went to C2E2, got Hal Jordan sketches from Joe State and Dan Moore and Franco. Nice. I love all that. I love Dan Moore's work. That is freaking cool. I don't know how that guy, Dan Moore, do you know who he is, Aaron?
It's not ringing a bell. I've probably seen his work, but I don't know why.
He is one of the best artists DC has right now. His stuff is fantastic. He started off at Boom, from what I remember. One of the big things I saw him on first was Klaus that he did with Grant Morrison. It was the take on like Santa Claus and stuff.
Was that based on the movie or something?
No. This came out. Well, they used to do them yearly. They put out a big oversized hardcover that is too hard for me to get to right now, collecting the stuff. But it was like 6-7 years ago, I think. His work is just really nice. But I don't know how he does so much stuff, because he's doing monthly stuff for DC, and he's doing the new Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover at Boom as well.
Well, Boom must be paying some rates if he's not doing more DC work and more Boom.
Well, he did the first crossover, so maybe he wanted to do the second one. I don't know. But
this is real. No, I'm looking at his stuff right now. His stuff's really good. It's cool.
Yeah, I got the first 6-issue story arc of World's Finest that he did, the art on with Superman and Batman that just came out last year. So
Were Superman and Batman making out or anything in the comic?
No, it was written by Mark Waid, so Waid does good
Oh.
superhero stuff. So
Dogs Gone Wild.
I know you gotta let that dog out, let it feel what the weather's like.
Well,
It'll
no,
just
dude,
cry to come in.
dude, all we get is deliveries constantly around here. It's amazing. And delivery trucks going by, and every time something, they always come by and ring the doorbell, right? And then the dog goes nuts and they leave the package out there. So somebody just dropped off something. I wonder if it's for me.
Oh my God. Well, let's get to it because, we'll be on the Kings later tonight. People can see us there. I want to show, I knew you'd get a kick out of some of this. Most of the books I got, I believe, are, there's only one book I got that came out. Oh, no, two books that came out in the 80s, but it was early 80s. And then the rest is 70s. So I thought you might enjoy this.
Man.
And the fun part will be you going, I've got that in Near Men.
We shall see. We shall see.
I know for a fact the DC stuff I got, you don't have.
Probably. Unless it's, monster related. I don't have a ton of DC. I got Neil Adams DC stuff, though. So.
Actually, and because of that, I think I'll do the DC stuff first. Now let me see here.
Burning out here. Am I too hot?
I'm just going to do this. No disrespect, but people want to see the books, Aaron.
Of course. No, hey.
So there you go. Okay, so first.
Is that a new StreamYard feature? You can make yourself bigger and still have the other guy on there?
No, it's always been down in the layouts.
No, maybe I just...
But you know what is a new StreamYard feature? Guests like yourself can now stream from here to their own channel and stuff, and it doesn't go against how many streams I'm going to.
So basically, I can EFAP this live onto my channel.
Well, you wouldn't even be EFAPing it because it would be just like this, but going through your YouTube channel.
Wow, I didn't know that. Look at that.
Yeah, it's a new feature that it's here. I'll tell you what it's called real quick. It's called Guests Can Stream This to Their Own Destinations. It says a great way to get more viewers. Each guest may add up to 2 destinations. Each broadcast allows up to 6 guest destinations in total. So if I checked that box, you would somehow be able to do that. But we can play with that next time.
That's interesting. Okay.
So, Pedro Ang in the house. Hello. Okay, so anyhow, first and foremost, getting to it. I got issue 1 of this a while ago because I liked the interior art and the art team. And then I realized some months ago that it was only a 7-issue series. This is almost like trivia for you.
Yes.
This is a DC book that came out in the 70s.
All right.
I'll give more hints.
Wait a minute.
It's only 7 issues.
It only lasted 7 issues, or was it a miniseries, or?
No, it only lasted 7 issues. It is Bob Layton did the inking on most of it, not all of it. Most of it.
You're going to tell me who the penciler is, because then I'll guess it. Is that kind of it? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm going to tell you. Yeah, it's Rich Buckler.
Jeez. For DC, Rich Buckler, 7 issues.
And it's when Rich was obviously doing his Neil Adams type look. So, and once I found out it was only 7 issues, and I was going through my stuff, and I had like this is hilarious. I have 1, 3, and 5. So I don't know why I know why I had 1, but I had 3 and 5. So I put on my little wish list because I have an app on my phone that catalogs my stuff that I needed, 2, 4, 6, 7. So at the show over this weekend, I found 2 more. So now I just need 2 issues.
I'm a bit stumped with this because I know it's not any of the fantasy stuff, because there was Beowulf, but that was Jerry Bingham, I think, and it wasn't.
No, Jerry didn't do. Jerry adapted Beowulf in the graphic novel for First. He didn't draw it for DC.
Well, it's not Beowulf then, is it?
No.
Okay, I know it's not the Stalker because that was Ditko and Wood, and it wasn't Claudia and Conquer. Was it the Karate Kid?
No.
Justice Incorporated?
No.
Oh, I don't know. I'm probably going to kick
All
myself.
right. Well, since there are two books, I'm not going to show one at a time. I'll just put them both up. Star Hunters.
Oh my gosh, I've never even heard of that. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? You're serious right now. You've
I
never
have
heard of Star
never
Hunters?
heard of Star Hunters. It looks a
Oh, I'll
lot
bust
like,
one of these open.
it looks like Atari Force or something like that.
Now,
You know how I feel
Atari
about
Force is
that.
awesome.
Oh,
FYI.
well, I know Garcia Lopez did the art, but Star Hunters.
Rich
Oh,
Buckler.
What year was that? Seriously, 35 centers.
Uh,
That would have been what, 79 maybe,
78.
78. Okay, I had never heard of that.
Now,
shows
Rich Buckler drew them. Tom Sutton, Bob Layton did some of the inking, but then Tom Sutton inked a few of the issues as well. But, I mean, come on, man.
Look at that guy with a headband and the mustache. Are you kidding me? What kind of stuff were you reading as a kid?
Dude, this is the 70s. What are you talking about? This was high fashion.
The balloon sleeves, everything. I love it.
Come on, dude.
Gosh, I swear I've never heard of this before.
Eric the Guapo says, Andy, Aaron is new to comics. Give him a break. I know.
You know, I'm worse than.
Look at that. Look at that gorgeous Neil Adams swipe.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. When you bought a Rich Buckler book, you're always going to get 4 or 5 different artists in there. So you got to keep your eyes open. A little Ditko sometimes, a lot of Kirby.
Yeah, look at that. You've probably
Cinema.
seen that one by Neil before. That punch.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, like I said, I didn't realize it was only 7 issues until a few months ago, and I'm like, oh, I got to get them all.
Or you could get none of them. That's my choice. Would be.
Oh, you are insane.
Dude.
Speaking
man,
of,
I expect you have better taste than that when you go to the show. And get some
speaking, well, these were the only DC books I picked up over the weekend.
Okay, all right.
Speaking of, though, at a convention I was at a few weeks ago, or about a month ago, I should say, with Dennis, I picked up 3 issues of Captain Action. So I've only got, how many did we say that was? 6 or 5? I can't remember now. I think it was 6.
I want to say 6. 5 seems like a really odd number to end a series on. I would have think 6, but I can't remember. That was a long time ago that was on the Professionals, right? We were looking at those. I can't remember how many issues there were, but I remember it got me interested too. I was like, man, I should pick those up, but they're more expensive than I would like them to be.
Well, that's because that's because you're a condition hog.
That's right. I got to get near mint or nothing.
I picked up 1, 2, and I think 4 for like $10 total.
Oh, really?
Now they're not garbage, but they're not near, they're mid-grade. But I will say I still am on the hunt for a very nice copy of number 1, because I do want a nice copy of 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As long as they're mid-grade, I'm fine.
Were those? Did we make the determination that those were Gil Kane issues and Wood inked them?
Except for issue 1. Issue 1 was all Wally Wood. Issue 4 was pencil and inks by Gil Kane. And issue 2 was Wally and Gil, or Gil and Wally. And Gil did the rest, but I don't know if Wood inked them all or if, Gil did or what the deal is.
Wood did the first issue by himself.
Yes.
And then Kane came on. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was good looking stuff. I need to get those. Put it on my list.
Yeah. So I do want to get a nice copy of number 1. Okay, so this one, let's see. This one might be one you go, I've got that near mint. Even though this one's not in bad shape, and I didn't pay $20 for it. I got it for a little less because you know how it is. You're friends with dealers.
That's right. You make it.
$234. You might say, why did you get $234?
I'm asking
because my man.
I don't go over 200 on my Thors. Everything 200 and under. So I don't have that, except for a couple of really cool covers.
I was going to say you've got the Fire Lord first appearance.
Well, that's a major thing. And I've got a couple of Gil Kane-ish covers that I really like. Just like he's fighting Ulik the Troll is one of them that I've got. And then there's some like not gargoyle, more like a troll, like ugly dude with a big metal construction beam. And they're like on a building that's being built, and they're kind of hanging over the city. And the guy's the big caveman.
Not the Destroyer. You don't know who the Destroyer is? He was in the first Thor
Yeah, I
film.
know who the Destroyer is, but this is not the Destroyer.
Oh, it's not the. Oh, okay.
It's just like some like big troll guy. It looks like Kane drew it, and I'm pretty sure Romita inked the cover. It's like 134, maybe one something. I don't know. I have to go look. I'm not 134, like 234, 235, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Well, this is 234, so it's not.
It can't be that one. All right, you're gonna make me.
But
go
this one, the cover's definitely Gil Kane. It looks like Dick Giordano inks. But the reason I got it is because I love Firelord. And Firelord's in it. It's John Buscema, Joe Sinnott. So can't go wrong.
Buscema was on there a long time.
Yeah.
He took over, when did he take over? Probably around 200? Or maybe before that. It was before that.
Maybe a little before.
It was before that. Yeah, it was like, I think he was on there in like the 180s maybe. And he was on there for a long time.
Yeah. So this was one that was on my list because of just Firelord. Firelord's in it, drawn by John Buscema. Had to get it.
Okay. Well, then I don't fault you for that. And a good Gil Kane cover. So.
What's that?
And a good
It is a Gil Kane cover, yeah. Oh. And then I got, and this is one that I just want to get because kind of nostalgia, but early work of of this creator. Oh, so we can do a little trivia. So it's a Marvel book, as you know.
Okay.
It is, now this one is from 1981, as I look at the little date on the cover.
Okay.
It is, and I'll tell you who drew it, but I won't tell you who inked it, because I think if I do that, it'll probably give it away.
Okay.
It is early work by Bill Sienkiewicz. He only did, I think, 5 or 6 issues of this series.
So this is prior to Moon Knight?
I believe so. What year was Moon Knight? Do you remember?
It would have been, Moon Knight was, it might have been 79. Moon Knight might have been 79. So this might have been after Moon Knight. Go look.
See, I thought this was before, but if Moon Knight was then, what's up, Bro Hawk? Hello.
Could be, Moon Knight was not, because, well, actually, Moon Knight #1 might have been early 80s. So he might have been that same. I'd have to go look it up. On it.
I'm going to look real fast because I can look on my phone because I have Moon Knight #1.
I guess I could look it up too. So
my Moon Knight number.
What would Sienkiewicz have worked on prior to Moon Knight when he was in his Neil Adams phase, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
God, because there was other guys like Mike Nasser and stuff like that were also doing Adams.
Yeah, but they didn't do a lot at Marvel. I mean, those guys did Marvel stuff. They didn't do a lot. Of course, it doesn't. I don't have that one recorded, even though I know I have it.
Is he? Okay, was this a regular series or like a? Give me some information about the series.
Oh yeah. Okay. It was a regular series. It was, well, god damn it. If I say this, it is so going to give it away. And hold on before I do, Bro Hawk. No, this wasn't Heroes Con, David. This was Charlotte Comic Con, which is a smaller show that 2 guys, local guys, do 3 times a year in a hotel. Heroes Con is in June. So
Moon Knight was 1980. #1 was 1980 that Sienkiewicz worked on. So there you go.
Okay. So this might give it away. It's one of Marvel's longest running books.
Well, it would either be the Avengers, X-Men. It wouldn't have been X-Men. There's no way it would have been X-Men.
No, so he didn't do 5 issues, 5 or 6 of that.
This
did an annual.
This would have been before New Mutants, then obviously. He wasn't on Spider-Man, was he?
Nope.
Wouldn't have been Iron Man.
Nope.
God,
you're letting me down.
Dude, he never
So
worked on
sad.
Thor that I'm aware of.
Boy, for a Marvel guy, you're just disappointing right now.
I'm naming every one of their ongoing series that lasted forever.
Not really.
He wasn't on Captain America. He wouldn't have done any issues on the Hulk, would he?
He just did covers as far as I know.
Oh, geez. I don't know. I'm going to be pissed at myself. Go ahead, show me.
You are going to be pissed. Fantastic Four 230.
Whoa, dude. Sienkiewicz worked on the FF? I had no idea.
Inked by Joe Sinnott.
Oh, Sinnott inking Sienkiewicz?
That's why I got it.
You've seen the Neil Adams issues, right? That Sinnott inked, and it hardly even.
Oh,
looks
I've got
like
them.
Neil. You're like,
oh yeah,
is it 180, 181 or something like that?
Yeah.
So does it even look like Sienkiewicz on the inside? Well, of course, this is prior to him being.
Well, that's a bill. This is a bill cover inked by Joe.
Jeez, that just looks like standard Marvel fare, doesn't it? Wow.
Now, Joe inked. He did, like I say, he did. He might have actually done 7 issues. He didn't do a ton and he started before 230 because remember, Byrne took over on 232. Bill, I think, started in the late teens, and I think there were a couple fill-in issues because he was the regular guy. Joe Sinnott inked most of them, but I don't remember who inked the others. And the ones that Joe didn't ink, I just don't care enough about.
I am stunned. I had no idea Sienkiewicz worked on the FF. Wow, look at that.
And the reason I bought this one is because the Avengers are in it as well. So it's getting to see him draw the FF and the Avengers all inked by... now let me find a good Neil-type riff. Let's see.
D. Williams floating around in the chat. You never know what he's going to say.
That's right. Oh, here you go. Here's a Captain America that it looks like he actually swiped. See that sucker?
That is so bizarre. Because, well, I know that a lot of guys, you know, they early in their careers they would end up doing some fill-ins and a few short runs on books and stuff before they really kind of came into their own. But that's so bizarre because the stuff I remember earliest about Sienkiewicz was the Moon Knight stuff, and I remember looking at it going, "Wow, that looks a lot like Neil Adams." And then I realized it, and I found out it wasn't. I was kind of like, "What's going on?"
Well,
here?
the funny thing, see, that's why I thought this was before Moon Knight because I thought that it was he did this and was pulled off this for Moon Knight, but this was 1981, so that doesn't work out.
No. And with
so maybe he was just pulled off because Byrne started in the 200s early, but his run didn't start until 232. So maybe some behind the scenes, it was like Byrne going, "Hey, I want to write it and blah blah blah. Here's my thing," and they were like, "Okay, here's a question for us from 40% Zed, Andy and Aaron. You guys have been collecting so long. How many books are in your collections?" I've got to do simple math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20. I've got about 23 long boxes, and if you want to say average of 300 a long box, so I don't have it, 6,000 maybe. I'll say I've got about 6,000.
You guys will be stunned
books
when you hear this from me. I have about 1,500 books is all. I sold
because you got rid of so much.
Yeah, I sold a ton twice, and to kind of pare it down, when I got rid of everything post 1980, that took out a huge, bunch of the collection. And also I sold a ton of stuff way back in early 80s to get a Spider-Man #2. So, and then I ended up selling my Spider-Man collection. So, but yeah, I'm really pared down. And
yeah, but that's nice because, I mean, I assume that most of them are in long boxes or short or long.
They're all I use short boxes because they're easier to move around in short boxes. But everything I got now is like super high grade. So when you're buying, high grade stuff all the time, you're paying like a lot more money. So you only get, I maybe buy 5 to 10 books a year total, whereas a lot of guys that buy cheaper books will just buy hundreds a year, and that it just keeps expanding their collection. But no,
yeah.
I'm really pared down. Just the
Well, I did send my at the show CBCS was set up, and I had my X-Men 101 signed by Claremont, so I gave that to them to slab and get authentic. I know it's authentic. I know it is because I know the person I got it from isn't a D-bag that way, but they've got to authenticate it, so that tacked on another $25. But I definitely want to get it slabbed.
They will actually authenticate it for you?
CBCS will, CGC won't,
Right. I know.
but CBCS will.
The
So,
interesting thing about CBCS, and this is so dumb to me, but it's collecting. People pay more for CGC graded books than they will CBCS graded books. But CBCS, I think, does a better job of grading. They're a lot harder on the grading than CGC is. So if you get a 9.2 CBCS, you've got a really nice book. Whereas
oh, that's
you get
cool.
a little iffy sometimes with CGC.
Yeah,
So just saying.
I hear you. All right, so this other book is from Fantastic Four.
Okay.
The story behind why I got this one is I met the artist, and this is before COVID. We were riding to the airport, from the airport. I can't remember. Point is, I met him. We had a nice conversation, and I already had some of his work, and I liked his work as a kid growing up. And if I meet an artist and I think they're really a nice person, and I've always liked their work, I'll look for other things they've done. So the artist in question, oh, he didn't do the cover, so let me open it up. The artist in question I'm talking about, I don't know if you've ever met him, is Keith Pollard.
I have met him once at a show in Houston. Very nice guy, he and his wife.
Now, see, here's the thing. I did too, and I knew he did Green Lantern stuff, and I had those issues before I even met him, being a Green Lantern guy. But I never knew, or maybe I did and I forgot, until just scrolling through Instagram and people posting photos, I never knew he worked on Fantastic Four with Joe Sinnott doing the inks. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta do that.
Yes. Well, the funny thing is when I talked to him, I sort of embarrassed myself because I was like, I knew his name and I knew that his stuff, he was very much in that Buscema school, and
Yeah.
I remember telling him, I go, what would you work on? I go, did you work on Black Panther? Was it Luke Cage? What am I thinking of that, and he's like, oh, I worked on everything, and he says, well, worked on the FF. And I went, oh God, that's right. He had that huge long run there in the 70s. He took over for Buscema, didn't he?
No, this isn't the 70s. I mean, maybe he did back then, but the book, this is issue 322. This is in the 300s.
I know he was doing stuff in the 70s because
he did work on Jungle Action with the Black Panther because one of the issues he did is one of my favorites. I can't remember the name of the villain, but man, there's some great like double pagers and stuff in there. And
I could have swore he did some Luke Cage covers. It might have been Power Man and Iron Fist stuff that I remember seeing on the cover. But
Kerry Gamble got his start on. Well, I don't want to say his official start, but he did start early on Power Man and Iron Fist.
Kerry was on
and
that?
Then what's that?
Kerry was on that, huh?
Yeah. But see, the thing is, I like it, but the inks are heavy-handed. It's inked by Ricardo Villamonte. Is that correct? You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know who Ricardo Villamonte is, sure, yeah.
Yeah, so that's who inked it, so it's a little heavy-handed.
Have you ever seen the Marvel Fanfare Captain America story with the yellow claw that Gamble did?
Oh, yeah. I got him.
Janky inked that, right? Was it Janky?
Yeah.
That
I'm pretty sure.
Those two issues are freaking amazing.
Yeah.
That's like Gamble's best work, I think. And then Janky, of course, is good inker, so that stuff is awesome.
I thought those were great, but I also loved. See, Marcus is saying that Keith Pollard drew Fantastic Four 200. So.
Yeah,
maybe.
So he was in there, and that was in the 70s. Issue 200.
Oh, it had to be, yeah.
70s, yeah.
Well, he did start in the 70s, so maybe he did some FF and then came back to it in the 300s. But
they did that a lot of times. The guys would like do a run, then they'd leave, and they'd come back and do it. I mean, Sienkiewicz did that on Moon Knight,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I remember seeing Pollard's stuff around a lot on varying things, and so. But it was funny to ask a guy that, who's at the end of his career and has got maybe 50 years of work behind him, and you're like, do you remember working on? And he's like, I don't know. I worked on everything, and you're like, yeah, I guess.
But with Kerry, I liked his Superman stuff inked by Brett Breeding. I thought that stuff was great.
What issues were those?
I don't remember the numbers, but it's when Well,
What
one of the big
era?
storylines was when he went out into space because they collected that into a trade.
What that was like in the 80s then, or
It
prior?
was late 90s, early 90s.
No, I wasn't. See, I wasn't paying attention. You know,
Or no,
DC.
maybe no. It had to be late 80s because it was when it's before I went to the Kubert school. So yeah, it was after Superman was restarted by Byrne in 86, but it was before 90. So,
Yeah, so I wasn't reading Superman at all at that point, and I never. I mean, other than Neil Adams stuff, like I said, I never really paid attention to what was going on at DC. So
I hear you. All right, so now we're getting into 3 books. The 3 last books I got. I got this issue of the Avengers. Of course, the reason I wanted it was because of the art, but it also happened to be a freaking key issue. So it didn't cost me $10 because I know the guy, but it was still like, really, why is it the issue I want just because of the art is a key issue also?
of course, that stuff always happens to me. It pisses me off.
It's when Hawkeye came back, but the art is by Sal Buscema and Klaus Janson.
That's
And
interesting. I remember that
I
issue.
thought the splash page, I mean, Klaus's inks on anybody are fantastic, but man, he just took Sal to a different level, you know? So
What year was this?
this one is 78.
I was an
Oh,
intermittent
man.
Avengers reader, man.
Love that shot of Vision getting
Yeah.
slammed by. I don't think that's a Tuma. I think it's just one of the bad dudes from down there.
Could be a Tuma though.
I don't think it is.
Well, Tuma was blue all the way through, right?
Oh, yeah.
So,
But, you got Miss Marvel in here rocking the feathered hair,
yeah, that's great. The
You know-
classic Ms. Marvel costume. Yeah.
her great one piece right there. Look at that.
Wait a minute. Did they hang on a second now? Her first issue, she had the diamond midriff exposure, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then they closed that
Yeah.
up, right?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, a little too
I
saucy.
actually got
Young lads.
it cheap. I don't have many of those big fat omnibus things that Marvel puts out, but I actually did because I got it for like half off by the Miss Marvel one because it's only what 38 issues or something, and I mean you've got John Buscema starting it, you've got
Right.
good Jim Mooney, Dave Cockrum. I mean the art throughout is just great.
Yeah, I bought the first 4 issues because they were Buscema, and then I stopped. Because I mean, when I was a kid, it was like I didn't care about female superheroes. I was like, I don't give a rip about this crap. The only reason I got it because I thought the artwork was good, and it was a first issue, and Buscema was doing the artwork, and so I got like the first, like I said, the first 4. I think the Scorpion was in issue number 2. It was like, so I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. I'll get that. And
Now I think the Scorpion was the bad guy in number 1 because he was on the cover of one.
yeah, okay, well, the cover was her, that big shot of her,
Right.
right? But the second issue was her fighting the Scorpion. So it was much more prominent that
Oh, okay.
the Scorpion was in. I mean, yeah, he was in the background thing because he had the Peter Parker was in it and, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so I did that all the time. I would see like first issues. Like, you remember when, was it Hercules that Simonson drew?
Yes.
Yeah, Hercules, the DC version that Simonson drew. Yeah, like I got the first issue of that. And Omega the Unknown, was Jim Mooney.
Yeah,
which is a
but
weird
but
series.
the
I think it was
Hercules
Durford
Simonson
who wrote
drew,
that.
he didn't start the book.
Oh, yeah. It was Simonson and Wood, wasn't it?
No,
Dude, are you sure?
Simonson didn't come on till issue 7. It was Jose Luis Garcia Lopez and Wally Wood.
Okay, well, I've got the first issue. Now I got to go back and look. See, because I was like,
Yeah, and that's Jose. I've got the funny thing. I've got 2 of them for some reason, but Simonson started, I think, with issue 7, and it was actually inked by Babyface Bob Layton. And then I'm pretty sure it was issue 7. I could be wrong, but I think it was issue 11 is when Simonson redesigned his costume with the big shoulder pads and stuff. And that's when he started inking himself.
okay.
somewhere around there.
Did he do the cover of the first issue? Did Simonson?
No.
Gosh dang it! I think. Why am I so convinced that? And I'm probably that means I'm wrong if I'm totally convinced that.
Because that's another series that I'm thinking about collecting the whole thing. 'Cause it was only like 12 or 13 issues, and I only have issue 1 as of right now. But it's not like it's an expensive series, and I always liked Hercules. It's some of Jose's first work, inked by Wally Wood. So,
the thing about there's the Simonson Hercules. It looks like he did the Who's Who, or the what do you call it? When they had what are those books where they had the full color figure, then they did the color hold on the background.
Who's Who.
Yeah, Who's Who. Okay, it looks like Simonson did the Who's Who here. I'm trying to find a decent picture of that. No, you're right. That ain't Simonson. Is that Garcia? That doesn't even look like Garcia Lopez. The cover to number 1.
All right, let me look. Either share your screen or I'll look.
I'm trying to find a big enough picture of it. I'll pull it up here. Hang on.
All right, because maybe the cover was. I have to see it, but maybe the cover was just 100% Wally. I don't know.
No, it's not Wood. I mean, it might. I don't know.
Are you talking about issue 1?
I'm talking about issue 1.
Dude, I'm telling you, from what I remember it looking like, I'm pretty sure it was Jose and Wally on the cover as well.
Okay, well, hang on a second.
Isn't it like a torso shot?
No. He's like lifting that big rock and he's all chained up to it.
Yeah, okay.
There you go.
Yeah, that's Jose.
Okay.
I don't know if it doesn't look like Wally's inks, though.
God, why was I? No, it doesn't. That's what I say. It doesn't look like Wood inks.
Maybe it's Jose's inks, too.
I was wondering, was that Simonson inked by somebody that made it not look like Simonson? But you're sure that's Garcia Lopez, huh?
Well, I mean, you Googled it. You should be able to find who.
I was just looking at the images. I wasn't looking at the.
But
info.
I mean, I just don't know why Simonson would have done the cover and then not come onto the book until like issue 7 or 8.
I don't know. Here, let me look. I'm looking at the DC. What do they call it? The DC database here.
Yeah.
Let's see. They're not giving me any cover information. Guys, what a bunch of.
Because the legs look like
jerks. Why wouldn't you give me?
Actually, I think most of it looks like Jose.
I don't know. It's not the. They're not giving me the information.
Bastards.
Exactly. I just said the same thing under my breath. It's bastards.
But you have to go. Just search issue 7 now and see if that was Walt's first issue. Because I can't remember. Because the funny thing is, Rob Liefeld actually just did a podcast talking about this series.
Well, number 7, the cover is by Buckler and Wally Wood, and it looks totally Wood. I mean, he totally took it over. Hercules number 12, that's Simonson for sure.
Oh, yeah.
There's number 2. Okay, now this looks like, let me show you this.
All right.
This looks like Garcia Lopez to me here. And I know it is, but I don't know if that first issue cover looks a little, I don't know. I don't like the feet look a little awkward to me, the pose, and Garcia Lopez is like too good of a.
Yeah, but you got to remember, this was like, from what Rob said, this was some of his first DC stuff.
Okay, so there's number 2 right there. That's definitely
Lopez. looks like Lopez. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it still looks like maybe his inks as well.
Yeah, that's not Wood.
It's definitely not Wood. No. Wood would never do cross hatching like that on that one thigh or anywhere.
Stippling Vaughn says you have to forgive the minor Lopez for not knowing what the major Lopez has done.
I saw it.
It's pretty good. Yeah, well, it's definitely. I don't know why I thought Simonson started that series, but he finished. He came on late. Huh.
He did.
Well, you get things in your head and then they turn out to be wrong, and then you're embarrassed, and it's just shameful.
Yeah, I know. All right, let's go to the last 2.
All right.
These are the 2 that I suspect you'll be like, oh, I've got that in really nice condition.
Okay.
It is Avengers. It is.
Maybe I'm spotty.
Oh,
My Avengers are spotty.
Oh, well, we can play trivia again.
Okay.
It is Avengers. As far as I know, it's the only 2 issues of Avengers this artist drew.
Wow.
And the cover price
Yeah,
was
what's the
20
cover?
cents.
Oh my gosh! So then we're getting back in the early 70s. Wow. Are they Barry Smith?
Yes.
Okay, so that would have been 99 and 100 or 98 and
99 and 100.
99. Yeah, they let him do
So
the cover on 100. And yeah, I do have
Yep.
both those near mint, by the way.
I figured. So I picked up 99 and I picked up 100 because I wanted the 2 Barry issues. Now you can see this says 60. I didn't pay that. In fact, these 3 books I got from the same dealer that are friends. So it was originally 60, and then these 2 were 10 apiece, so 80. And I was like, and I had a number in my head, of what, how, I don't know how you are, but I was like, because he's a friend, I said, so what's the best you can do me for these 3?
Yeah, I always do that. One of my dealer friends.
Yeah.
Come on,
I go, what's the best you can do me for these 3? And he takes them, and he looks at them, and now this is $80 total. And I had he's not watching this. I had a number in my head of like $65-$70, right?
Yeah, sure.
He goes, just give me $50.
Woo, nice. When it comes in under your number, that's good.
Considering it was $10 off this alone.
Now the thing is, did Barry Smith, didn't he ink one of those himself, like 100? Didn't he ink that himself?
Not the whole book. 100 has him, Joe Sinnott. Let me open it.
Yeah, but the pages he inked are dynamite, man.
Oh yeah, you can tell the ones he inked.
Yeah.
But the ones Joe Sinnott inked, you can tell as well.
Well, Sinnott was so overpowering. I'm trying to remember.
Sid Shores. So it was Smith, Sinnott, and Sid Shores.
Okay. Show us a Barry Smith page.
I'm going to assume page 1.
Yeah.
And I'll show it to you.
There's like some Hulk stuff in there I thought was really cool. Yeah, that's Barry.
I would think so. And then let me find what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's like a close up of the Hulk or something that's so Barry Smith that it's just like, yeah.
Now there was a couple guys, like one guy had the book for 80, another guy had it for 90, and I was just like, I don't know if I want to spend that much. Let me look.
What condition was that in?
I don't know.
You're just throwing
the
numbers
biggest
around. You don't even know if they're ripping you off or not.
No. I know the dealer. The pages are, kind of yellowed. The biggest thing visually on the cover is right at the corner box, that smudgy on the 20 cents.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's because they had a sticker over the top of it, a price sticker.
That's what it looks like. It's connected well. Oh, this has got to be Barry.
Yeah,
right
that's
there,
the whole
right?
stuff I was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it looks like Barry did a lot of the beginning of the book. But yeah, so that was one I always wanted. And it was because of, it wasn't necessarily because of Barry. It's because it's issue 100.
Well, yeah, it's got everybody in it.
It's, and he did do the cover. So that's cool.
Yeah. 99, he didn't ink anything in that, did he? That's somebody else.
No. And in fact, I think it was 90. Was it 99 that I read this? Let me see something. This actually blew my mind, the thing I'm going to tell you, but I want to see if it was this issue because I want to get the dates right. But I'll tell you who inked it too. Oh, I already know without looking. Tom Sutton.
Sutton inked it?
Yeah. Wasn't Tom known more as a penciler than an inker or no?
Yes.
That's what I
I'm
thought.
trying to think of what he penciled though. I mean, I know. Oh, you know what he did? He did like a couple issues of Captain Marvel, like really early when he was still in his green costume, and but he was kind of like a handyman. I don't know that he was on anything for any great length of time, at least anything popular.
Did he do some Star-Lord?
It's possible. That sounds right too.
It might be in this one.
Wasn't he over at Charlton for a while too?
That I don't remember. I was just never I was never super impressed with his stuff.
Mm-hmm. That may be why he was over at Charlton.
Could be. Oh, here it is. So you know the inker John Verpetin, right?
Yeah, Reporting or however you pronounce it. Yeah,
However you say it.
Yeah.
I did not know this. Do you know how old he was when he died?
He was in his 40s, wasn't he? Or 38?
37.
Yeah.
37.
He was a big, big dude, though. I don't know. Did he have a heart attack or did he have diabetes or something?
They don't say, but that's where I discovered it in that blue box right there. 1940.
Really young.
1940 to 1977. I was like, oh my God.
Plug liked him, thought he was his best anchor on Man Thing, was reporting.
Really?
Yeah.
I just can't believe how young he was.
Yeah, it's crazy. But he was a big, big dude. I mean, he was tall, but he was also just super heavy. He was just a big
I've
dude.
seen pictures of him.
Yeah.
So I'll show you another book I got, not from the convention, but it was one of those. Well, you don't have. Who's your email service through?
Earthlink.
Oh, so you don't have like ads, because like mine's through Yahoo. So I have ads that run down the side and stuff.
Right.
And you know how those dumb ads work. They run stuff from like searches or whatever.
I get them too on Earthlink. They're usually for like chicks like underwear, and I'm like, why am I keep getting these? So I don't know.
I don't know, Aaron. What are you wearing right now? Boxers or bikinis? No, I got. So I saw this on the side, and I was like, oh, let me click on that. And it was at Amazon. It was the price of regular book, $4. Came out in 2020. Okay. The reason I bought it is because it's drawn by Kyle. How do you say Kyle? Hotz. Is it Hotz or Hotz?
Hotz. That's how I've always said
Hotz.
Kyle Hotz.
Okay, so it's drawn by Kyle Hotz. And I like Kyle's work, you know, and he's a cool dude. Mm-hmm. I had no idea he worked for Kingstone Media, and he did the 4 issues of the Book of Revelation for Kingstone.
Really? What year was that? Guy, I don't remember. Kyle Hotz.
2020.
Oh, really? So it's like really recent.
Yeah. So I'm like, they're only $3.99, and it's Amazon Prime, so it's free shipping. So it's literally like just buying it. Now, it didn't come in a bag and board. It literally just came in one of those puffy envelopes. So it's not like you're, you know. But I was like, dude, Kyle drawing this, and he did all 4. So I was like, well, I'll get the first one. So I got the first one, and I'm like, this is, you know, it's telling of the Book of Revelation and stuff. I was like, you know what? I might have to go get 2, 3, and 4 now.
Crazy. So, I had no idea either. Look
it's
at
cool
that, man.
stuff.
That's intense, yeah. I remember him like...
Check this out.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Right?
Yeah,
so,
that's cool. No, he started breaking in right during the Ultraverse days. He got some work for Malibu. I remember that.
Well, he did his own, and it's a graphic novel. It was his own thing. It was in black and white, and it was, you know, right around mid-90s. It was a creator-owned thing he did. I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me, and I used to own it, and I must have got rid of it at some point. Yeah, I mean, none of this helps because I don't remember the name of it, but it was one of the first things of his that I saw, and I was like, oh my God, this guy loves Kelly Jones.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, huge Kelly Jones influence in his work, early work. All right, hey, I got a couple things.
Yeah.
Check this out.
Oh, hold on. Watch this.
Other way.
Oh.
There you go. So FF, what is it? 84 with Dr. Doom there.
Nice.
And in 80 with Wyatt Wingfoot and some big robot thing. Now we went to this comic book swap meet. It was more like a flea market that they do every year around here. Josh and I went, and they didn't have anything.
Was this like this past weekend?
2 weekends ago.
Oh, okay.
But I picked up some these are like fine condition, you know, but for the spinner rack, you know, I thought $10, heck yeah, $8, I'll get these. So, and of course it's
That's
Kirby.
Oh, nice.
Kirby inked by probably Sinnott, right? Yep.
Oh yeah. But see, if you're spinner racking it, there's no way you can put that in a bag and board on a spinner rack.
No, it's just
Yeah.
that's how I bought them.
Now, do you already have those issues in better condition?
No, I'm not an FF guy. I only collect like certain issues of the FF that are like, like Silver Surfer issues or things like that. If I can get them, they're so stinking expensive. But like, I just picked up FF 100 not too long ago because I thought it was,
cool.
cool cover, whatever.
Oh,
This is great. Good Doom.
What's the splash on that one look like?
Like that
Oh,
FF.
yeah.
Was that like some sort of? It wasn't a Quinjet. What the heck was that? The FF car or something? Oh no, it looks like they're being held captive in something. Crystal's in there. Oh, look at Nick Fury and Dum Dum Dugan is in there.
This is a good question by Ellie Munoz. He says, if back issue prices come down, I heard there's a long spike. They actually have come down. I heard dealers talking about that over the weekend.
They're dropping like a rock. Everything got overinflated because everybody had COVID money, and things just went nuts. And they're really starting to drop. So I'm starting to see some deals again on stuff that I want to get. So there's books I was like, I'm not paying that kind of money for that book, and now they're starting to drop and get back to being reasonable again. So I'm on the prowl.
Yeah,
I just picked up a couple books.
No Captain Actions over the weekend, because what I was looking for, I want to finish off Captain Action over the weekend, but nobody had any. I just happened across these wonderful, and you can say what you want, but I know you're secretly looking at them, saying I want them. Star Hunters, $1 each, nice condition. So, what was I say? Oh, the issue with Fantastic. I have a few early Fantastic Fours because of the Inhumans and stuff. Because I just love the Kirby Inhumans. But the one issue I want to get, which I still haven't got, and I have it in the Essentials, obviously, but I want to get the issue that's in How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, where he explains what a splash page is.
Yeah,
that's the issue I want to get, just because I first saw it in How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way.
What's on the splash? I'm trying to remember. I haven't opened that book in a long time.
It's all 4 of them, but front and center is the Human Torch, and he's not in total torch. It's just his hands, and he's kind of blasting towards you, I believe.
Did it say what issue it was from?
No, but I mean, you could probably Google it real easy and find out.
Yeah. I wanted to get like this monster, and then that shot through the roof, and so.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Issue 51, I think, and then there was like 72 has that great Silver Surfer cover on it, but that shot through the roof, and so that stuff is starting to come down again. So, Randy Howell's saying blasphemy that I don't collect the FF, but see what happened was when I was a kid, there was like a bunch of us that collected comics, like 5 or 6 of us. And we'd go to these old used bookstores because that was the only place we could find old back issues. And so we agreed to only collect certain things so that we weren't fighting for the same book. So somebody had FF. One guy picked FF in Conan, right? So that was his thing. And I was Spider-Man and, just about everything else. And, so I never got into the FF. And then by the time I started looking at the FF, all that stuff was too expensive. And I was like, I'm not going to go drop $30,000 on the first appearance of Silver Surfer. I'm gonna sell my house, So I pick up, like I said, I got issues a few issues here and there. Like that one issue of I think it came out in the '80s, but it was Barry Smith did the issue, and it was a Thing solo story. He has like the hat and the trench coat on the cover, and he also did one in Marvel Fanfare too, the Thing story. But yeah, so I just pick up odds and ends when I can afford them.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much what I do in my entire collection anymore. Is I'm looking for specific first appearances, or special issues because of an artist or whatever. That that's what kind of drives my collecting these days.
Hey, you remember that show? You remember that show with Ted Knight, Too Close for Comfort?
Yeah, when he wore the puppet on his hand and he was a cartoonist, but it was like a newspaper strip, right? That he was doing supposedly. Was
it a newspaper strip? I don't know if they ever said. I would assume
Cosmic
it was.
Cow. Wasn't it Cosmic Cow was the name of that thing?
Yeah. I would assume it was a newspaper strip.
I'm not sure.
Well, I did an ode to that, we could call it that, that I'll show
Did
you.
you? Really?
And it's featuring my character. You might remember, I don't know, Mr. Mighty.
Wait a minute, weren't we going to do like...
Yes.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
still have your script.
I was writing the script for it, and you were going to draw it. That's right.
I still have the script, too. So sit back, Aaron, and enjoy this.
Enjoy it.
Sit back, because once I hit play, because it's in StreamYard, we're going to go away. So just sit back and enjoy this little trailer for Mr. Mighty. To the desk. All right, Mr. Mighty. Let's see what adventures await. What will come out of the mighty pencil on To the Mighty Day for Mr. Mighty's adventures? What villains will you take down with your mightiness? Alright, Mr. Mighty. We'll pick this up later. Duty calls. The trash will not take itself out. There you go.
When did you make that video?
Probably a month ago or so.
Oh gosh.
Here's what I loved. I really wish I could have seen, in StreamYard, how when you're hosting the show, you see the thumbnails of each of us down below.
Yeah.
I wish I could see your reaction when I came out of the closet like that, but man, I wish it was full screen.
Oh man, that's so good.
Well, here's the thing. I told you, when we moved up here in 2005, I remember telling you when in the late 90s, living in Orlando and stuff, I did some acting and whatnot and some commercials and stuff. And we moved up here and I started doing improv, and I met a guy through improv that was also doing it, that was a cameraman. Well, he still is back then he was a cameraman for ESPN X Games and stuff.
Oh, really?
And oh yeah, this guy has won and this is 2005, 2006. He won 3 Emmys for his work and stuff. So he also likes to write. So I told him about this. So we actually have a script for a sitcom pilot. And he was going to film it because he has all the equipment. But at the time, I was in a 10 by 10 room, and there just wasn't enough room to maneuver around. So I don't know, I was cleaning up in my studio and I came across the Mr. Mighty stuff, and this room is totally big enough, but I haven't talked to this guy in years, and I was like, I should just film this fun little intro for it. And I just got that in my head and was like, let me set the old iPhone up, do a little filming and editing.
Where did you get the red suit?
Well, that was it. Back when he wrote the script and we were seriously going to film a pilot, like I said, this goes back to 2006. I had the costume made.
Oh, so you had it made.
Wow. Well, I bought basically red tights, and then for the M, it had the stretch as well. So I bought spandex material, and took it to just not a costume shop, but just a
seamstress, sewing
a seamstress, seamstress in town that just does normal stuff like, take in this suit or whatever. And I said, well, can you do this? And I showed them how the M should be, and they said, yeah. And the belt is from a Batman costume, and then the cape is just material that I had cut and made.
Can you buy superhero tights like that material? I mean, Like the red.
Yeah,
that
you
was
can buy a
basic-
full bodysuit in any color.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never even.
So I
I
bought-
never looked, Andy. I have to admit, I have.
Yeah. So I bought that. But here's the thing. So the story behind the sitcom is obviously
about
I
Mr.
draw my
Mighty?
hero. What's that?
Was the sitcom about Mr. Mighty?
The sitcom was about the comic book artist that draws the hit comic, Mr. Mighty.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And when he works, he has to wear the suit. But the pilot episode of the sitcom was so we had to cast 2 more roles. So we actually held auditions and we cast the wife. And then the hook for the funny part of the sitcom was Mr. Mighty needed an intern because he just had so much work. He had to have help at his office. Mm-hmm. But the deal was, if you worked at the office, you had to dress up like his partner here, this chick. But the gist in the sitcom is Mr. Mighty couldn't get any women to fill the role. So he got a guy that was in college, in art, wanting to be an artist. And so we got this guy to play the chick, but has to dress up like this because I have this costume made too.
So Helen's not getting in that costume, is what you're saying?
No. So the guy we got the costume fits him, and
Well, you got a guy wearing the chick's outfit?
yeah.
Oh,
Because that was the whole deal. Is it's like the intern comes over for the interview, and the interview goes well, and I'm like, okay, but there's one other part to the job, and he's like, what's that? And I said, well, you see how I'm dressed? And he goes, yeah, I can deal with that. Whatever. I haven't read the script in a long time. I go, well, to work here, you have to dress up as well. And he goes, I got to wear a Mr. Mighty costume. I'm like, no, I'm Mr. Mighty. You've got to wear whatever the chick's name is. I can't remember what it is.
I'm really uncomfortable with this sitcom now. This is getting.
And then, we would do store appearances and stuff, but, we never shot it. So.
Oh,
But now, but see, dude, this is before iPhones. This was literally before, because remember the first smartphone was 2007. It was before that. But now, I was like, oh my God, nothing against my friend because he's probably way too busy. I haven't talked to the guy in years. I don't even know if he still lives in Charlotte. But I'm like, I could shoot this thing on my cell phone and edit it on the computer. And I could actually shoot the pilot. But I'd have to, it's been 17 years. I'd have to recast the wife, probably recast the dude, the intern guy.
So when you cast these guys, you're doing it. You're going to do this as a pitch. So you weren't paying these guys. This is like film school, right? You're just kind of like, hey.
Yeah, no, it was known that it was just to shoot this pilot. You'd get a copy of it to use on your reel. Right. We did the auditions. I mean, I still have the audition tapes, but they're literally on the little tapes that went into the, handheld recorders.
Yeah. Those 8mm cassette tapes.
Yeah, I still have those tapes. And the funny thing is, the woman that booked it drove up from Atlanta to audition. So.
Hey, actors are desperate, man.
I'm still friends with her on Facebook and stuff.
I'll bet you are. Mm-hmm.
So, and she worked behind the camera at, where did she work? I can't remember. She worked doing production stuff in Atlanta. So.
Oh God.
So yeah.
It's so funny. Well, that was worth coming on just to see that and to hear this story.
Well, the rest of the bros will see it tomorrow night.
Oh my gosh.
On the professionals.
That's awesome. Well, I can't wait to laugh my head off again.
So I need to get going. I know you need to get going because we have the Kings later tonight. Yeah. And you also have your homework on Joe Kubert for the professionals tomorrow night.
I already did that. I already got it taken care of. Now, can I, did he have to do the interiors? Could it be covers?
No, you can do covers. I mean, I did. I'm not giving away the 3 3 jobs, but the 3 jobs I'm going to talk about, he happened to do both. But no, it can just be covers. I don't care.
Well, I've got 2 that he did, that were series that he drew, but I've also got some covers of his that were kind of my favorites that I wanted to that I wanted to show. So
yeah, that's fine. I've got.
Right.
This was hard for me because I'm such a Joe Kubert fan to narrow it down.
Right.
So.
It's like asking somebody, pick your favorite John Buscema stuff. You're like, ugh, because he did so much stuff.
That's not a bad one to do at some point either.
No.
What's up, Phil?
There's Phil.
Yeah, that's not a bad one to do either at some point. Buscema. There's another one I was thinking about too the other day. I can't remember, but it was the other day I thought of another artist when it goes back around. That's right. Check out The Lost Pages by Zaid Comics. And of course, Aaron, you can do your pitch for Wraith of God, Blood Hunters, and the re-release of #1.
Yeah. Okay. It's an interesting phenomenon. The Second Chance campaign for Wraith of God #1 has a brand new cover. That is not shadow banned, so you can find it just by going to Indiegogo. If you don't have the link, just go and search Wraith of God, and it'll come up. We're about halfway to. I mean, I've hit my goal that I set, but really we need to get to about 10 grand to cover everything. So if you don't want me to go into the hole, pardon the expression, get out there and back the book. It's a new cover. There's a Dale Keown print you can get that's cool. So check out that campaign if you haven't. That's again is a re-release, a reprinting, if you will, of the first issue of Wraith of God, which is sold out now with a brand new cover. And also Wraith of God Blood Hunters is shadow banned, so you need the link. I think Randy Howell's been posting it in the chat. But that campaign's still alive and well. And I might also be re-releasing or opening up orders for the Dale Keown t-shirt again, the werewolf t-shirt again for like a limited time. But I will let everybody know before I do that. So check out those 2 campaigns on Indiegogo. Thank you very much for your support.
That would be, if you open that up again, that would be on the Blood Hunters one, or?
Yeah, on the Blood Hunters campaign.
It would be on that one.
Okay. Yeah, because I've already got the perks set up. I can just reactivate them. And but I've had a lot of people want the Keown shirts, and it's like, maybe I should open this up for another couple weeks so I can raise enough money to actually put in another minimum order of 50 shirts. So thinking about doing that. Probably will do it. So.
And then, of course, I've got Kor-Drath, The Reckoning. This is the latest character card. I don't know if you saw this yet in color. I can't remember.
Dan's been. I've been seeing Dan post stuff on it, so that looks really cool. That looks really great.
So this is the next stretch goal. It's the Necronite character card, so that'll make it 4 playable characters for Kor-Drath, The Reckoning graphic novel. Read the book, play the game. It's on Indiegogo. It's only got about a week left on Kickstarter. All the funds merge together to unlock stretch goals that everybody gets. I just started page 52 today. Got it all laid out. Just need to start slapping some ink on it. So go check that out. 5 different covers to choose from. 76 pages of great barbarian ball-busting action. So that's right.
Yeah, I'm on. Okay, what page are you on?
52.
Okay, so I'm on 41 of Wraith of God, but I've got 5, 8, 16 pages done of the other stuff too. So that puts me at still ahead of you.
Oh yeah, you're blowing way past me.
Well, just a few pages, but you'll be actually done with your project before I'll be done with mine probably. Because I have 100 pages total.
Yeah, we'll see.
Craziness. Great value though. Your book is like 80 some pages, right? Or 79 or 80?
Yeah, I mean it's 76 a story. So.
Yeah, but are you gonna do an 80-page book or 84-page book? Because you have to do it in 4s.
Most likely. Yeah,
so
I mean I just got to look at that. I got to look at the pagination. You know how it is.
Yeah.
So.
That's a big book. I mean, these are both really good. Both our campaigns are really good values at $25, I think, for as much material as you're getting. So.
And the extra stuff. You're never just getting just a book.
That's right. There's always so much more.
So go check it out, guys. We will see you on the Kings tonight. And everybody have a good day. Aaron, I'll talk to you in a minute once this is over.
Okay, great.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the